Hello my friends, today I'm going to give a lecture about differences between people who live in Europe and also the United States. I know that everybody knows that there are many differences and various characteristics among people who live in different regions in the world. According to the environment, weather and everything that you can imagine, people are totally different. But if we look at the people who live in Europe and the United States, we can see that there are some divided lines that could be mentioned in this presentation. The first point is that in Europe you have to pay to use public toilets, unlike the United States. And even if you want to wash your hands, there's no exception. You have to pay at least €1. The next point is that in European restaurants, when you order water, it usually comes with a tiny glass bottle. Maybe it could be free, I think, in the United States if you order, for example, a glass of water, but you have to pay money to the restaurant for actually ordering water in Europe. The next point is that European people care about the environment. For example, they drive less compared to the people in the United States, and they try to use the bicycles in the streets, and also public transportation is really common. And and also gas is too expensive. And also from another perspective, we can say that they try to care about the environment. And, using green energy is another point that could cast light on some characteristics of people in Europe that they try to take care of the environment. For example, using wind energy for producing electricity is something that is respectful in these regions. For example, if you go in the streets of Denmark, you can see different wind turbines actually are present in some farms around the cities in Denmark. And it's a way for producing electricity, and it really it shows that they care about the environment seriously. And also in Europe, sports are not family affairs. In the United States, people go to sports events actually, but in Europe, sports are not, let's say, that valuable and important events. Except for the soccer, which is lovable in all over the world. And the next point about differences of people in actually Europe and the United States, we can say that people in Europe have smaller food portions. If you look at the lunch and dinner, actually you can see that people in Europe have smaller food portions, and maybe it could result in better health. And also the next point is that cigarettes are really fashionable in Europe, and smoking equals being cool. But in the United States, this story is not applicable. And also European people dress nicer. They always try to dress to impress others, and also there's the same story about their haircuts. But the scenario is not like this in the United States. And also European people speak multiple languages. If you have some friends from Europe, you can see that they are able and capable of speaking different languages, but people in the United States are not usually like that. And also European people, as I told you, and they care about the environment, and they recycle more compared to the people in the United States. And if you go to the streets in these sorts of countries, Europe, you can see that there are many places for throwing away papers, plastics, and different materials, according to their materials and ingredients. And one more point is that if you go to the Europe, you can see that coins are more valuable compared to the United States. For example, if you have some coin in your bag, they could value, for example, €20. But for example, in the United States, it's not like that, and coins are not that valuable. and you cannot buy many things by, for example, collecting coins. And one more point about good features of people in Europe. We can see that toilets have dual flush toilet. They have dual flush toilets. It means that they try to save everything in the environment, especially water, which is really important. And dual flush toilets helps them to actually help people to save water. And also about one more point about actually the vehicles in Europe. We can see that electric cars is really common because it curtails air pollution definitely. And the last point about European people is that dinner is an all-night activity of these sorts of people. People schmooze with their family members and their friends at the table dinner for hours. And if you are meeting a person, a European person, for dinner, do not try not to hurry up. And also they have more vacations. People in the Europe have more time for having fun in every year. Maybe I think, for example, in the France, if you look at the people in France, they have maybe 6 weeks for the vacations, but in the United States it doesn't exceed 2 weeks, I suppose. Thank you so much for listening my presentation. I know that there are more differences between these sorts of people, but there were some actually points and some differences among these sorts of people that were interesting to me. Thank you so much.